This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for March 14th, 2019. Qs and SPY relatively flat here. You can see 0.06% on the SPY and down 0.16 on the Qs. Really small, narrow range day on the Qs and SPY. Okay, so what I saw, at least intraday, was pretty much sideways. I thought that the market wasn't really a factor in today's trades. Very sideways. Spent some time below the 20 MA, above the 20 MA, and then back below. So from what I saw, not a lot going on in the market. Just kind of a rest. Now we're pulling back to this hourly here. Okay. I did want to see us get to this 20 MA. I thought we might pull back instead. The 20 MA kind of caught up through time. I think what would still be the best setup for us to get a good entry into some longs would be actually a pullback around the 175 area, right, into this support and then set up from there. Okay, so really we're still bullish, but would it like to see the market pull back some more? Okay. If we get another day like today, that would be fine too, another sideways day, because that definitely helps to pick out some of what we're going to go after during the day. Okay, so we'll go right into it here. First play out the gate was the CLDR. Okay, I called this CLDR 1288 by 1305. It was a pro gap down. Okay, and we did a sell setup here. I'll show you the 1 minute. This was the 1 minute sell setup here. Okay, and then 1305 is the top of this bar, and 1288 comes from the bottom of that bar. So we got it. We ended up taking it all at around 1240. But you could have held this all day. I think I got just too impatient and maybe a little bit too excited about our play. It was a nice immediate drop there, good follow through. But now what do we do if we want to hold something all day? 1155. Is that right? No. Yeah. This is not, this is not right. Woo! I thought, geez, this thing really fell. 1170 there. Maybe in the pre-market, I think it or in the post-market probably hit 1155. But remember we talked about all-day trends last week. All-day trend trades, and you can just manage them on the hourly, and you would have gotten quite a bit more out of this. Yeah, on a very tight stop on the CLDR. Okay, but just so if you're reviewing here, it was a pro gap. I'll show you the gap here. Okay, breaking the uptrend right on this, breaking the uptrend on the gap down, and then we just played it on a sell setup. It was a 17-cent stop, right? Okay, right here, sell setup, and then look for new lows and beyond. Okay, that was the CLDR. Okay, and then coming out of lunch, gave the room this S&D, was a long. So, you know, on a day like today where the market's not gapping and the market's not really moving, anything gapping up, gapping down should be on its own page. So this was gapping up, clearing some resistance. The numbers were 340 by 325. I thought it was pretty sloppy in the morning, and then finally picked a direction, broke out, right, over the highs here, which were 340, right, and then ran up to 372. Saw quite a few people play this and do pretty well. I think I saw one person, she got out like 366 or 7 or something, like really close to the highs there. So that was really impressive on the S&D. I really like this pattern on the hourly here. We don't get as many complex patterns intraday on the hourly because there's just not enough time to get them. But what we got here was nice price compression. Lows are getting higher, highs are getting lower, and we're compressing into the next move. Okay, so that was the S&D. I thought that was a pretty nice play. Maybe the nicest of the afternoon there. Nice follow through, relatively painless there. So that was pretty good. So, you know, it doesn't, on days like today where the market's more or less sideways, not really going anywhere, may look like a bit of a downtrend on the intraday, but you can see on the daily here, one of the smallest bars that we've had this year. These are the days where it's a bit easier to find who's going to move and who's going to go and which ones you want to get aboard. I did really like the snap as well. I never really found an entry that I liked. I think there were plenty of ways to play it. I know some people did and did all right with it, but I like this gap a lot. I just never put out an entry on it or found an entry that I really liked, but clearing the resistance there and transitioning now into an uptrend. So, you know, whether you don't necessarily limit it to the things that we put out, but even if you're kind of out there looking for what to do and you get a day where the Qs and SPY aren't really gapping, aren't really moving, that should make it that much easier. Now, of course, on other days, right, if you'd like to be in the room and then just copy the plays. I mean, something like this CLDR, I don't really know if there's going to be if there was any other better short opportunities today than this. To me, this is fantastic, and the follow through is great. You know, this is kind of what we look to do every day. We may not always get this kind of follow through every day, but definitely gonna, you know, put ourselves in a position to get it. So you see the entry was at 1288, is closing at 1171. You know, stuff like this, or like the Loco, right? I don't remember if the market might have even been bullish on this day. This was last week, right? And so stuff like this is going to stand out in its relative weakness. On a day like today where the Qs and SPY are flat, relative strength, relative weakness really stands out, both sides, okay? All right, so just a couple plays there for you to recap from today that were given to the room. Going into tomorrow, still bullish long term on the Qs and SPY, but expecting a pullback, so we can go to neutral here now on the short term. So going into tomorrow, we are up a lot. I'd still like to see daily pullback. Don't know if that's going to happen. The more that we base up here, the more bullish. So we could set up the next move through consolidation instead of a pullback. All right, but neutral in the short term, and then long term bullish. All right. So hope you had a good day today. If not, we will be back at it tomorrow. All right, and we'll see what the market brings us, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.